Hi there guys, it's Joel here from Aussie Chart Trends. Today's market update is for Tuesday the 16th of October 2012. Today we're going to be checking out the smp500 firstly, and we're going to take a look then at the asx200. But before we do that guys, I've just got to remind everyone that aussiecharttrends.com.au and this video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in this video is intended to be used as any form of investment advice. I'm not a licensed professional. You need to make your own decisions regarding your investments. I'm just here to help anyone searching for a practical direction in today's markets. Okay, so looking firstly at the S&P 500 guys, on the hourly chart, in last night's trade we had a bounce. Now I've drawn a new line on the chart, and as you can see we've got three areas of support here, and this is descending support. Now previously we've had our neckline drawn here underneath these bottoms here, and I'm not going to get rid of this line because I still think it's technically significant. But the fact that we bounced over this area last night, then rallied on up over this area here, and we actually closed above this yellow descending line. So what is going on? Well, I do have a brief description of what I think may be happening, and I'm fairly certain as to what I think is going on right now. Now, if we just take a look on an extended chart of the S&P 500, I'd like to show you previous topping formations. Looking on the hourly chart here, going back to February of 2012, we had a head and shoulders top over here. We had a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder formation. Now, within the top of this head and shoulders topping formation, you can see we had a triple top formation. Now, it's rare that the S&P will make a double top formation, and I was kind of biting my tongue last week. Now, if we have a look over here, you can see that we've formed a double top. But in last night's trade, that 1432 area held up as support, and we were able to get back over that red line. So in saying that, the fact that we bounced on this area here last night, and then we rallied on up and closed over this yellow line, it is possible that we are looking at a triple top formation. Now, how will we get there? Well, expect now that this blue line will act as resistance. This yellow line will act as descending support. Now we may go sideways for a few days, or we may just head on straight up through this area. But if we do, I think what we are looking at is not a double top formation. It looks as if that we're looking potentially now at a triple top formation. So a move back up to the 1470 area for one last time looks as if that's what's going to happen now. It's quite amazing overnight, from one day to the next, how much the markets can actually change and how certain patterns can play out. But if we come back down and we take out this descending yellow line, well, I would say then that we're still looking at that double top formation. But to me now, the fact that we closed over this yellow line tells me that we may be heading back up. So that's really much it for the S&P 500. It does throw a bit of a spanner in the works, but that's why we do these daily updates. So in saying that, let's take a look at the asx200 and just see what happened in the last couple of days of trade. Looking here in the hourly chart of the asx200, you can see in yesterday's trade, not much action happened. We just went sideways, down between our support area of that 4,480 area and that high there of around the 4,500 area. But in today's trade, we cracked over this area temporarily, but this line held up as fairly strong resistance, and then the markets came back down to go sideways. So it does look as if the asx200 is trying to get back up over this yellow line. If the S&P 500 gets that move up to the 1470 area, well, we may have one last try to get back up over this area. Now, as you can see here, we've got two tops that completely line up here, so we may be looking at a triple top in the asx200. I was actually thinking also that this blue line, if we have a look at this pattern, you can kind of see that there is a bit of a toppy formation to it, but nothing that I'm going to call for the moment. We could be actually looking at a triangle top. Now, what is a triangle top? Well, if I extend this line out here, and then we just extend this yellow line out, you can see here that it looks as if that we're in a potential symmetrical triangle pattern. Now, this very may well be on the cards, but if we do get over this area, guys, this top area, just keep in mind that the 1470 area for the S&P 500 should be the last stop. So the S&P 500 may get up to its target in the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks, but we've just got to keep our eye firmly on the S&P 500, and I think a top will be in place there around that 1470 area. So for the asx200, we have a resistance area around the 4516 area, which is this yellow line here, and we have this rising support area here around that 4490 area. So just keep your eye on those support and resistance levels, and I would say we probably maybe might have one more attack up on this line, and if we do get over it, just don't be fooled into thinking that we'll probably head on up, because that pattern in the S&P 500 is actually a fairly large pattern, and I would say then that soon we'll see a fairly substantial correction in October or early November. So that wraps up the update for today, guys. I hope that you guys are benefiting from these videos, and it's a crossroad at the moment with the S&P 500, and it has thrown a bit of a spanner into the works as far as the analysis goes, but that's just how trading is. Things change fairly quickly, and we just got to be there to catch it when it does change. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for another free daily market update. Thanks for watching.